Welcome to Comic Construction.
Let's check out the build, art, and story of the Seven Secrets Deluxe Edition, written by Tom Taylor with art by Daniela Di Nicuola, colors by Walter Baiamonte, and letters by Ed Dukeshire, published by Boom Studios. This is an oversized hardcover at 7.5 by 11.5 inches and has 496 pages. The book build's pretty intense, so this will be a pretty interesting, I think, review of that. The cover has 4-color printing with a spot gloss and embossing. On the front, the gloss is applied to the illustration, which is very striking when combined with the embossing. So all of these characters are embossed, so they stand out from the background. And then the background itself has the dull coat on it, which really means that all of these characters in the foreground are popping off. Like that gloss is so shiny. And then on the edges where the embossing is raised, you can, I don't know, it just really adds so much depth. It's a very striking design. On the spine, the gloss is applied to all of the printed elements. So the Boom logo, the Seven Secrets treatment, and then the names of the creators. And then on the back cover, everything is covered in the gloss except for this background art piece that it just has the dull coat on it. This is a beautifully designed volume, so I really want to shout out the designers. And that's Chelsea Roberts, Veronica Gutierrez, and Grace Park. The binding is sewn with a whitehead ribbon, and the book has a flat spine. The interior sheet is a really thick semi-gloss. Honestly, I think it's a little too thick. It reminds me of the paper used in Giant Generator Image Deluxe hardcovers. Due to the thickness of the paper, this book weighs almost as much as a DC or Marvel omnibus with twice the page count. So while this is just under 500 pages, it weighs about as much as a 900 or 1,000 page omnibus. That's why I think this paper is a little too thick. That text block weighing so much is going to put a lot of stress on the spine over time. Normally I don't stretch spines on books with 500 pages or less, but decided to stretch the spine on this one due to the weight of that page block. The art by Daniela Di Nicuola is very frantic and clearly animation inspired. It would look at home with animated shows like Avatar: The Last Airbender or Voltron: Legendary Defender. The characters are all very kinetic and emotional. That's really cool to see an artist that can convey both. Like this page really shows you the kineticism. There's just so much energy there. You can really, and that's also what I mean by expressive, right? This person is screaming and you can see that they're screaming, but also the angle of their head reminds me of that almost anime style where the mouth is open, probably wider than it could be, but you don't see the top of the head because all you're seeing is the nose and then the hair. So there's a lot of really cool animation sort of cues in there. The colors are as important as the line work in this book, so I want to recognize Walter Baiamonte's contribution. The colors are very clear and feel like cell animation. And the background color palettes are used to convey the mood of each page. And Baiamonte's choices are nothing short of amazing. So as you can see, these pages are kind of more neutral. And then when you get into kind of more intense scenes, you'll see the color go from this orange to this red. Or this is kind of a more serene page. So you're seeing this very calming sort of green. And then as things speed up, you're getting a lot of reds, which is making you feel more emotional intensity. It's really cool color work. I have a soft spot for Tom Taylor, which is why I checked out this book. I've often said his work is solid, but he doesn't take the big swings that Mark Russell does. As a result, I've always felt that Tom Taylor's work is a little more solid because he generally is playing within the lines. He's done a lot of really interesting work at Marvel and DC. His X-23 All New Wolverine series was really good, and X-Men Red is probably the best, X-Men story I can think of since the 80s. So, but now that I've read more of his works, I find he's more like Russell than I initially thought. Taylor is really good at superheroics and kind of peppering in some political ideas that are very interesting. Unfortunately, in Seven Secrets, they sort of fall flat. This story is the story of a world which has 7 powerful secrets which could destroy it. These secrets are guarded by the Order. There's another group called the Seekers who wish to make the secrets known, believing that this will set humanity free. At the beginning of the story, we find out that 2 members of the Order have fallen in love, which is forbidden, and they have a child they name Casper. The Order raises Casper as an orphan, and he is the main character of the story. He's the one telling the story, and he tells you up front that it's odd to be narrating the story because he doesn't make it to the end. The story starts when all hell breaks loose as the Seekers attack the Order en masse, wiping out a large number of the Order and forcing the group to flee. Honestly, this 18-issue series is really just an elaborate chase sequence with action sequences thrown in. The final issue adds some philosophy on the nature of the divine, but then it wraps up a little too quickly and neatly. 7 Secrets starts out really fun, but felt pretty stale after a few issues for me. So will it stay or will it go? It's solid, but that doesn't earn a spot in my permanent collection, so it's going to go. There are other Tom Taylor books I prefer, and I'm looking forward to rereading some of those books as I reevaluate my book collection. Thanks for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, and share with a friend.